It's the MythWits, a geek pop culture web series, broadcast live for video and audio podcasts. Watch us live at mythwits.com and find us on YouTube and iTunes, bringing you news and reviews about geek pop culture. We have comedy skits, play nerd-tastic games, and provide extensive on-location con coverage. And now, your hosts.
Hello, everybody. This is Peter Bryant of the MythWits. Welcome to the show tonight. As you can see, my screen is a little messed up, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, there's Steve. Okay. Give me 1 second here. For some reason, my screen is not participating. There we go.
Kind of need you there, big guy.
Who's that, me?
Yeah, you.
All right, I'll be there in a whole second. Hold on. No, my screen is not playing nice with me. Hold on, give me a second here. Let's do that. All right, there, that fixed that. And then let me fix this other one.
Where's Donnie? I think Donnie can fix this.
Donnie?
Come on. Everyone knows Donnie's the brains.
Right?
Oh, right. I got you. I'm tracking now. Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. This has been a cluster of errors tonight. We've had some issues with Google+. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to the show. We are the MythWits. This show is not safe for work, so should you be around sensitive ears or in a place where you can't hear dirty words or possible adult content, please listen at a better time for that sort of thing. Tonight, my guest hosts are Michael Kafis.
What's up, Peter?
What's up?
Is this show safe for Dragon Con?
This show is totally safe for the Dragon Con.
Because we are so on the way down there.
Yes, sir. I would also like to welcome my guest host, Brian O'Vera.
Hey, brah.
What's up, Brian? And we have a very, 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 very special guest tonight, Mr. Steve Lavigne.
How you doing? I think I needed one more very in there.
Okay.
One more.
Oh, one more very. Okay. Very.
Thank you very much.
He's a true celebrity. So, so we're very happy to have him on board. I have to give a big shout out to my boy Jay Libby. He knows Steve from somewhere. I don't know. Steve will tell us tonight. But he hooked us up with Steve. Said, hey, Steve would be a good guest for your show. And when he told me who you are and what you do, I was like, I couldn't agree more. So,
Plus, more important than anything else, we need big dirt on Libby, okay?
Big dirt. Yeah. Any dirt.
Wow, I wish I had some. I wish I had some of that.
Oh, well. So anyway, hey, Steve, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Or should we call you Michaelangelo?
Steve is usually I answer quicker to that one.
All right, no, that's cool. That's cool. We'll explain that little bit in just a bit. Now, Steve, what you can't see, we have a format screen. This video gets streamed into a catcher, and then it imports graphics and stuff on it. So unfortunately, I can't show that to you guys, but our guests are seeing it. That's what they're seeing. Right now, I have a picture, the coolest picture I could find of Michaelangelo up on a little side screen, just because he represents. Now, I know you do more than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I would very much like to talk about some of the other stuff that you did and do and currently are doing in future projects and stuff, but I figured we'd start with a baseline of what everybody knows you for most.
That makes perfect sense to me, and I've done the most, years and years and years of it, so.
So let's get right into it. So Steve, you went to art school?
I would love to say that. No, I actually met Kevin in high school in an art class. But other than that, I kind of got an art degree through Mirage Studios.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misread something then. Okay.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll gladly take a degree.
You met Kevin who? Why don't you name drop?
Kevin Eatman, I believe is his name.
Yeah, Kevin Eastman, yeah.
I've heard of him. That's terrible.
A little known somebody, so there's four of you, right? That got together and started this whole project. Is that right?
Well, there's actually more in the whole group. Initially, it was Kevin and Pete.
Right.
I was kind of the first guy to come in. Kevin and I, like I mentioned, we went to high school together, kind of dug each other's stuff. More Warner Brothers style, him more, big boobs, big muscle style.
Right, yeah.
True comic book guy.
Right.
And as he met Pete, and when they kind of got the book going, Kevin asked me if I wanted to do the lettering in the book, and I honestly swear he would have hired a monkey to do it, but he asked me, I was able to do it, so that's where that was my first step into the Mirage Studios empire.
Okay, well that's cool.
Now,
Hey,
had he already had all 4 main characters and everything developed when you came aboard?
I kind of got there probably. By the 3rd book, I was part of what was Mirage Studios, the true Mirage. That was, the back porch of mine and Kevin's apartment, which was my bedroom, was Mirage Studios. So,
you had a Gygax startup.
Yes.
Okay.
hey, that's kind of like our Slam Chicken studio.
That's right. Yeah, someone's bedroom.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's the beauty of it. The Mirage is the perfect name for that company at the time. That's for sure.
Oh, sweet. Okay, awesome. Well, all great. I'm telling you, I think all great things start in someone's basement somewhere, or a garage, or something like that.
I agree.
So, so you started hanging out with these guys early and doing some work with them, doing some lettering. And it's funny, God, I've been so busy. I really wanted to break out. I have the 2 first issues of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the big ones.
Yep.
They're not the first printing. God, I wish they were the first printing. But I think one is a second printing and one is a 3rd printing, maybe. But I got them. Oh man, in the 80s, so they were still new. I mean, they were new when that printing came out. I got them in my, wrapped up in plastic and stuff in my comic book. And that's, I know that the Turtles became something else after that. I mean, the original Turtles came out, and that's the Turtles I fell in love with, because I'm in my 40s, so I'm 44. So when I discovered the Turtles, I was somewhere around 13, 14, maybe, somewhere around in there. Mm-hmm. And they were still like hardcore. They were awesome. I mean, there's blood and they actually killed enemies and stuff like that.
Very different. Yeah.
And by the time they got to what most people know as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I mean, a vast majority of the people, they had morphed into something else, and I was too old for what they morphed into. Because I had hit, I don't know, 18, 19, somewhere around in there, and they had turned into something.
The pizza-eating Cowabunga turtles.
Yeah. And nothing against, there was a period where I was just kind of like, ugh. But I really like the latest animation of them. Even though it's a kid version, I really like it.
Oh, the Nick show right now?
Yeah,
with Ron Paulson, Sean Astin.
It's awesome. I love it. I mean, even though there's the pizza thing and everything, but they've toned that down and brought up some of the. It's good.
It's smart. I love how they turned April into a teenager and Casey into a teenager, which makes a lot more sense in that group dynamic. I have to agree completely. I think they're doing a wonderful job. It's got the right amount of humor, plus some great voices. I mean, one of the first episodes, Lewis Black plays the evil spider. It's awesome.
That was awesome. And him as a big, ugly spider is perfect.
And calling them frogs the whole time was beautiful.
Especially since Lewis Black does that finger thing.
Yeah, yes. He gets all mad. Right, and he's like, come here, you frog. I watch it with my kid, which is my excuse. But I love it when she wants to watch that, because that's one of the ones that's one of the animated things that I watch that I like. So I'm happy to say that I'm really happy that the Turtles kind of came back, at least at some point where I really like them. I won't say anything for the movie. I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know. It's been getting mixed reviews.
I'll put my little 2 cents in on that part. I really love the Nick show.
There's a reason. There's a reason people generally review the movie as voice actors in a half shell.
Yes.
Because the Turtles were great. I love the dynamic for the Turtles in the movie.
Sure.
I just wish they gave us more Turtles.
Yeah, well, I think it should have been April O'Neil meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and she fights the Shredder somehow. I really wasn't quite the movie I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's sentiment, because some of the stuff looked really cool. Like, I think for a live action version of it, I think they looked good. From the previews I've seen.
Yep.
I thought they looked pretty cool. Shredder.
It looked like Optimus Prime in the Shredder suit, but
Yeah.
that kind of the studio came from. But I also, I mean, for me, I thought they looked fantastic. But if you haven't seen the movie, remember the word ninja, I guess, as you're watching it, and you realize there's not a lot of martial arts, and they're not very stealthy when they're, it's like 4 Hulks running around.
Especially Raph. God, Raph just.
It's like, I'm a ninja! Rah!
Well, no, it's not even that. He's huge, man. He's like 7 feet tall. He's a wall of meat and shell.
Oh, they are. I mean, all 4 of them are. They're just gigantic. Yeah. But it's a very interesting take. I mean, to me, we've seen different versions of the Turtles over the years. So for us, it's it's kind of second nature. But at the same time, I'm just surprised. Like Nick, like we were talking about, they have a beautiful, beautiful show going on.
Right.
And this movie really does not tie into the show at all, and it's supposed to still be a kids' movie. So very bizarre to me.
Yeah, I'm really kind of biting my tongue on this one. I mean, because it's true, like you said, there were so many iterations. I mean, even back in the comics, they actually all had the same color bandanas back.
Oh yeah, that makes sense as ninjas.
Right. Yeah, and then later on, obviously, you gave them each different colors, and then the weapons different them. And in this movie, they went to 11 to make sure everyone knew they were different. Like every turtle had a different attire. Poor Donnie, all that gear on him.
Oh, I know.
I'm just like,
I think he was wearing a Ghostbusters backpack, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm like, they said it could be anything, so I could be a Ghostbuster, and I'm just like, Donnie.
Well,
I know you're the brains of this, but I think glasses would be enough, maybe. But
in all fairness, I don't think there's anyone on this show, on our show, any of our hosts, that have any affinity towards Michael Bay, right? I think we're all kind of unanimous on the anti-Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wish the man ill will.
No. Don't get me wrong. No. I just don't like his work.
Well, and actually, I mean, it was Jonathan Liebsman. It was Bay did a third.
Bay paid for the movie.
Oh,
Liebsman directed, but for some reason, I was getting the vibe that Liebsman was trying to be like Michael Bay.
Well, you got to remember
there are some kind of tropes that Michael Bay's known for in this movie.
Well, you got to remember when people produce something, they put money into something, they get a say.
Yeah, they don't stick their finger in the pie; they stick their fist in the pie.
Producers have a way of doing that. Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they tell you your shoes untied before the fist comes out. So.
Right. So Steve, let's not get too far away from the early days, because I think there's some really good stuff from back then. You guys started out, like you said, in a bedroom, right?
Well, we all had. We shouldn't say that. That sounds a little bad, but the office was actually my bedroom, where the copier was, and there was a desk there to your fan mail. So that'll be the furthest point for the office at that point.
So I love that. I mean, like, so what were you doing in addition to that? Like, what job did you have that you did so you could do that, or were you able to do that without?
Well, when I first got to, I first joined Mirage, I had to work. I was actually a assistant manager at Cumberland Farms most of the time. And then I'd come back to to our apartment and, letter the book, answer some fan mail, do anything that the boys decided they didn't want to do any longer.
Right. So I mean, that's all. I always find that I love that part of the creative portion, because I mean that's where we are right now. I mean, I worked all day and now I'm home and I'm doing my podcasting thing.
That's right.
And
it's called paying your dues, right?
Right. So I like to hear where people kind of come from, and how long was it before you were able to go, you know what, I can do this all the time?
It was at least, I'm going to say, a good 2 years that I was kind of still doing a part-time job. Kevin and Pete, by that point, they were kind of living off turtle money, as we call it, So,
right.
that was pretty good. That was pretty good for a while. And I remember the first time they came back from their first San Diego con. I was not able to go to that particular one, and I remember Pete's blue AMC Hornet, which was the ugliest car known to man,
right?
Ugliest color. Came back with a trunk full of stuff from Toys R Us, a new bike strapped to the roof for Kevin, and I knew they had a good first San Diego con, and that kind of led into the next run of books, which was kind of when I started to be able to just work on that stuff, which was nice.
Okay.
So that kind of is a great lead-in for my next question, and that may have been the moment. But what was the moment that you guys realized, you know what, we've made it? Like, we're taking off. Was it that time when they got back from Comic-Con, or was it more of like a little bit after that? When did you guys realize?
Well, I think we were all still pretty lean and mean, you know, for quite a few years. You know, probably at least another good 2 years. There was little things happening. You know, they got a role-playing game. Dark Horse, Kevin Symbiator at Dark Horse licensed the Turtles to do a role-playing game and did lead figures, and that was the coolest thing. And that's some of the stuff that I got to ship out initially was lead figures and, you know, role-playing books and different things like that. So it was kind of cool. That's when, you know, things were starting, but that was much before the licensing agent and, you know, all the big stuff happened.
So in other words, when you got the agent, you knew you made it.
Well, he actually kind of he was representing, I want to say it was Robotech for another company,
for Palladium.
For Palladium, exactly. And he asked Kevin Symbieta, you know, what do you got that no one's heard of? You know, because he was trying to strike off on his own. And when Mark Friedman asked Kevin Symbieta, he just said, the Turtles, this is weird, but you know, we're selling a lot of the lead figures. We're into our third or fourth book, you know, and different things. So he kind of took it back and, you know, took a chance, which that was crazy. You know, I mean, he was kind of giving up his job to pitch this thing that was so bizarre that nobody wanted to talk to him, you know.
Crap, I wish I had mine on my bookshelf here. All right, so I'm a big role-playing geek, and we played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a role-playing game, right when it first came out. We played it for quite a while. I had a sheep. I played as a sheepdog. Is what I was playing, a Teenage Mutant Ninja sheepdog.
Okay, yeah.
And we played that for quite a while. It was a lot of fun. Brian, did you ever play? Well, Brian plays some role-playing games. Have you ever had the pleasure of playing the role-playing version of this?
Unfortunately, I did not. It was something that I really wanted to do. I mean, I've heard about it. I've seen it in action. I'm just like, oh, I want in on this, but I never had the chance. No one I knew had copies of the books or any of that, and it made me real sad, but I really did want to try.
Right. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I thought I had it on my shelf. I had a copy of After the Bomb.
Yep.
And then the space one, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like Turtles in Space or something like that, or I can't remember, Mutants in Space or something. Exactly. But I was gonna whip that out. I'm like, crap, it's in the other bookshelf.
And then there's the Mutants Down Under, got a little Australian at towards the end of it.
I've seen that. I never got that one, but I've seen that. So did you play the role playing game? Were you into role playing games?
I would love to say I was, and just never really got into them. And you know, by that stage, we were I'm trying to learn as much as I can about comics, you know, because I was kind of, like I mentioned to you, more, I want to be an animator, I want to do storyboards, or I want to do something like that. Comics weren't really on my, you know, radar until I really started working with Kevin and Pete and I used to at nightly go into Kevin's room and grab comics from his milk crates and go in and get a little education on some of the great stuff, you know, so.
Okay.
So for me, I was kind of just getting into the comic aspect of it at that point.
Wow. Okay. So we have a chat room going, and a guy named David Benevides. Does anyone know how to pronounce it? Mike, do you know how to pronounce his name? Is it
No, but
Benevides?
You know what? While we have him in there, he can tell us, because I feel bad I can never say it either.
Okay. Anyway, so
Benavides.
Benavides, maybe that's it. Okay. So anyway, he has a question. He said he wants to know who your inspiration was. When you decided you were going to do letter or comics and animation and stuff, who inspired you?
My main guy that, you know, if I want to say in high school, Don Martin from Mad Magazine. I just loved Don Martin. Loved Point and Doing and all that stuff. You know, you could do a story with no words and just expressions and sound effects. And always loved him and Sergio. You know, Sergio Gomez.
Oh yeah, Gru the Wanderer, one of my favorite comics.
And also just even the little gutter drawings he would do on Mad.
Yeah. Oh, they're
like,
awesome.
Oh, those are beautiful. Always so quick, short, and funny. But yeah, Gru was one of my all-time favorites. And again, you know, that was a great. You know, they did Dark Horse did figures for that, and because they were doing turtle figures, I managed to snarf the whole line.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I have the first 20 issues of Gru. So they might be worth something by now. I don't know. I think I bought them. Was it like a
They're
million years ago now? Huh?
They're worth enjoying. That's the thing I love about Gru.
Oh yeah, I would never get rid of them because I'm not a collector type. I don't buy like extras to sell. I'll probably die with all my comics. But god damn, it was a good comic.
Now, do you want those burned with you, Pete, when in your Valhalla type of?
Yes. Put me in the boat. That will be the kindling.
Okay.
Or I could, I would give them to my daughter, but I'd probably hand them down to my daughter. But she's probably gonna be too cool for school for all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm kind of hoping to geek her up a little bit, but I'm afraid she's gonna be cooler than I was.
We all hope for that in our kids, don't we?
Well, I don't know. I think I'd like her to have a little bit of geek in her. I mean, I've
geek is chic right now, so.
That's right. It is exactly.
So are you saying we won finally?
No, we're just winning right now.
Winning like Charlie Sheen.
If you want to go that route, okay.
So, Steve, take us through the journey a little bit. So, you guys are really doing well. I've never heard the full story. So take us through, like, you guys are getting all these deals, licensing. Where do you hit the pinnacle, and then where does it not go downhill, but like where do things sort of spin off as far as where you guys put your hands up or?
We haven't put our hands up yet.
You're still guys.
Still do some stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, as things progress, like I mentioned with the licensing, Kevin and Pete managed to get the Palladium books and the Dark Horse figures, and they were doing little things themselves. And Mark Friedman steps into the picture, and he starts going around to. I mean, I think he pitched at every major toy company that was out there: Mattel, Hasbro. I think Galoob was still a player back then. There was, still quite a few toy companies out there, and all of them kind of gave him the, nope, sorry. And Playmates was kind of a toy company that was doing kind of secondary stuff. They would make toys for other companies, as well as they kind of had some like girls' baby doll line, and they were kind of looking to do something in the boys' toy line, and they were the player that said, yeah, we'll make the toys. So it was very, lucky for them, incredible lucky for us to even think about it. And I say us, I should say Kevin and Pete. I'm still, didn't create them, but still, we were there. But and at that point, they got the animation deal going, and as that piece kind of came in, they had that one, I think it was a 5-episode run, and that was right before the holidays, and it just took off. Playmates couldn't ship enough toys. That was the biggest thing at that point. Was just shipping them. And am I babbling too much? Any more questions going on?
No, we're ready to go. So
everyone's having lunch in between.
No, that's cool. So then you got into. I was just looking off your wiki page. You did some stuff for Burger King and Pez and Konami and New Line Cinema, Color Forms. I mean, like, you did a lot of like artwork for all these properties.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was really the property was the Turtles. It was kind of as things progressed, I kind of did graphic novel coloring and did some covers and different things like that. And then the opportunity kind of came up as the licenses came in. They needed artwork for it, and one way of kind of getting the quality level on a lot of the stuff out there was to do it in-house, and then in turn sell it to the different licensees. So that's how you kind of end up on all those different things like that, which is nice. It's very nice to have all that stuff kind of in your portfolio. I've worked for Burger King, worked for this company, worked for it sounds fantastic, but it was usually.
Let's get back to this Burger King thing for a minute. I must know, what have you done with Burger King?
Burger King, when they had the early Turtle stuff, they had cups, collector's cups. So I did the art on all the collector's cups that you had to get. I think there was 5 or 6 cups that you had to collect.
Right.
So that was my Burger King thing, and I think we did some other little comic strips that would go on bags and different things like that.
Cool.
Okay.
So what do you?
So you get, and for Konami, obviously you were doing some of the work for the art for the games and stuff?
Yeah, box covers mostly. Yeah, just
Okay.
I did like all the tournament fighters for all the different platforms. And,
That's
some of
cool.
the Game Boy games early on, and even some of the early Nintendo stuff.
Now back then, were they putting uh, different art on different boxes that went to different countries, or was it the same art on going to all countries? Because
I think,
nowadays they're customizing things for various countries and regions.
yeah, I think basically they used some of the stuff would get redrawn, which was weird, always weird to me. It's like, why didn't you just use the art that we had generated? Because you just light tabled it rather poorly, But no, a lot of the times at that point it would just get just odd names, Tortugas, and they couldn't say ninja in England when England had the license because they had banned the word ninja. So
What?
I have no idea. I wasn't there. Don't know. But they had banned the word ninja.
I think it's because all the ninjas that had killed English people.
Right. I believe that was it.
Right,
they were
yeah.
they were about to take over.
Right. That 90s ninja apocalypse in England.
Ninja apocalypse.
Yeah. Didn't Doctor Who go through a ninja phase around that time, if I remember right?
Could be. Very well could be.
So what did they end up calling them if they weren't ninjas?
God, I can't. I want to say they were just Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles or something like that. So
that
just kind of blah. But
has a nice ring to it, right? Yeah.
it does. It does.
Maybe
But
if you say in English. Hold on a minute. Hero Turtles. No. Right. The Hero Turtles. So
lovely.
Wait
a minute, Mike.
Ninja word in there.
Mike, how would Stewie say it?
I guess he would still call them turtles. Ninja turtles.
Look at the little turtle there.
I must have the ninja turtle.
I need to have my diaper changed. I had a turtle head poking.
That's not a ninja.
Saw that coming.
That's the brownest ninja. The brownest ninja.
The brown.
The brown-eyed ninja.
That's the ninja.
Throwing star.
Oh, okay.
That was
All
one step too far.
In this case, the ninja's a chimp.
All right, so
That's a whole other
Yeah.
superhero property that Pete and I are working on, but
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
get to that some
We'll get
other
to that.
time.
Yeah, you don't want to share that too much. People,
so
somebody
one
might feel that.
one of the things that I saw that really intrigued me was this Creators Bill of Rights. Could you tell us a little bit about that? That's neat.
It was very neat. It was a lot of different artists and creators. Scott McCloud kind of got it going. It was an amazing thing that kind of just fell apart, unfortunately. I don't feel that it all got out there, and I think we all kind of pay the price as creators and artists now. Where rates, it's kind of what I used to get paid for a cover, I get paid less now, which to me seems shocking. But that's just the way the market is right now, and I really, the Creators Bill of Rights was supposed to kind of protect us from that and protect the artists and creators, that had things taken away, like Kirby for years, and not getting credit, and that's one story out of a million out there, of people that created stuff, so it was basically kind of to do that, but it was a lot of great ideas and a lot of rabble, but then it kind of faded from view, unfortunately. And, I now I see a real value in it. At the time we were making really good money. So, we felt that strongly about it, but now it's kind of like, yeah, geez, it really kind of came to fruition. We should have, if everyone kind of banded together. Now, like anything, I can do it cheaper, there's somebody younger, faster who can do it cheaper,
Right.
And I fully understand. I was the younger, faster guy, years ago, so it's so you kind of have to deal with that now. So I wish it was one of those things that I could say had really, really happened. I think it would be beneficial to everybody out there. Unfortunately, it's still the money's in the wrong places a lot of the time. I
can tell you, so talking about Jay Libby, he and I have talked about this many times about how artists get scrubbed a lot. I mean, he's worked with artists, and he's always very good about paying his artists for any of his, because he does role playing games, for any of his role playing work. He always makes sure he makes sure that they get paid on top of any. I mean, even if it comes out, even if it hurts him, he's going to pay them. But you know, he's seen a lot of artists get hurt over the
He
years.
said the Brits pay great.
Oh God.
Well, all right, I'm drawing Hero Turtles from now on.
Right. but yeah, he's got certain people in the industry, in the gaming industry, that he has a real, like, I don't know, a hatred for because of what they've done to artists over the years.
The list is long, I think, for that. Unfortunately, you know, like, I think I mean, even it goes back to even like Kirby having to do as many books. Granted, the man could do it, but I'm sure he would have rather had a nice afternoon off with Roz every now and then instead of, you know, having to get all the stuff done to pay the bills.
Right. Right.
So it's kind of been an ongoing thing, and you know, Kevin and Pete, great examples of treating everybody very well. That's, you know, that was a beautiful thing with them because, again, they were artists and stuff. They treated us fantastic. You know, we got, you know, did very well, and when everything was going well, we were all going well, which was a nice thing. You know,
Are they still in complete control of all the whole property, or?
Nope. Right around 2000, Kevin kind of got out of. He's been kind of more of an LA boy, and he kind of moved out there and kind of because he also owns Heavy Metal magazine.
Yeah.
So
that's where he went. Yep.
Yeah, kind of fell back into that type of stuff, and he decided to let go of the Turtles. He offered Pete to buy them for an amount. Pete bought them, and right around that time, that's when Pete, you know, probably took a year or so to get the 2K Turtles out, and that animated series came out, and Pete fostered the property to about the 25th anniversary, which is 5 years ago, and at that point, he was tired,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
you fully understand 25 years of fostering a property like that, and they got beat up. They had to stop being artists for a long time and just be
Right.
businessmen, and that wasn't even at all the type of people they were.
Right.
So I think that took its toll on Pete, and at that point, Viacom made a very, very good offer, and you know, now Nick Viacom owns them, and we're seeing that, you know, the next generation, which is, again, I'll go back to Nick's show, very cool movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's a movie.
So have any of you guys tried and made any attempts, whether it was you know, successful or failed attempts to make any other properties? Has anything ever gotten some air under the wings and drop off, or anything else that we maybe didn't know about?
We actually had a few. There was Kevin unfortunately wasn't part of this, but the majority of the guys in the studio, there was probably 7 of us at that point. We had a design group called Fanatics, and we get together once a week and, you know, say all kinds of stupid shit, and, you know, somebody would go, hey, that's really stupid, but how about if we made it smart and did this? And, you know, so we had quite a few properties, and we created Bibles and you know, full character development, and we shopped them around. I actually used to do some of the pitching out in LA, and we had a property, Barbarians, which was Barbarian Bears.
Oh no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
and actually Hasbro was very interested in it, and we had one of the guys in the studio, Mike Dooney, who's an amazing sculptor. They were like, well, you can't sculpt fur. And he's like, yeah, you can totally sculpt
Sure
fur.
you can.
This is back when, you know, everyone was like worried about scale. Everything had to shrink down to G.I. Joe size, and
Right.
there wasn't a lot of detail, and a lot of the good sculptors were probably working on all the role playing game stuff, you know. And Mike kind of did all the bears and proved to them wrong. Graz Entertainment, who at the time was doing the X-Men cartoon, they wanted a piece of it, so they created just a short, probably I'm going to say 10-minute video, and that got pretty far, but that was kind of where it kind of ran out of legs there. And we had another property, the Gorecore, which was this kind of funny, you know, monster. We were doing a lot of superhero stuff, design stuff, so superheroes are generally boring. You know, they're sleek and they wear capes, and you know, they're clean. You know, bad guys are lumpy, gross, huge, nasty, and fun to draw.
Yep.
So we kind of flipped the script and made the nasty guys, the Gorecore, the good guys, and the bad guys were a perfectly sterile planet. You know, almost like Disneyland, where, you know, the speck of dirt would, you know, kill them just about. So we got to draw them. That got all the way to, we got a master toy license. ABC started, they liked the property, they gave us money, they started writing scripts for it. They got 13 episodes scripted, and a small little company called Disney bought them.
Oh.
And when they bought them, unplugged everything. I mean, as a matter of fact, the contacts that we had at ABC, when we called after we heard the news, they were not there. Not one of them were still in the building. So
I hate that. I hate when any corporation buys something just to kibosh it.
Dude, it happens all the time. I mean, because
it really does. It really does.
We're buddies with this guy Scott Sigler, and he's becoming he's being very successful writer. I mean, now he's up and coming. He's like he's going to be big. You're going to know who he is. What Mike? Probably in 2 years.
Maybe 2 years, yeah.
You're going to know who he is.
Well, now you know who he is.
Now you know because I told you, right? No, but no, he's got a lot of
check him out. Yeah,
he's got a pretty good fan base. But anyway, the only reason I bring him up and mention this is because I've talked with him because he's going through these processes now. He had some books optioned years ago, and then another company bought the publishing house that had bought the rights to his books, and then they killed the deal. They killed everything, right? Because it was just optioned.
Yeah.
And then he had to wait for the rights to come back to him, right? Because they owned them, but then they killed the projects. He's currently right now. He's just had a TV show optioned off of one of his properties, but he's two. I think two of them maybe. Yeah. And he's been quick to say though. He says that means I have about a 5% chance of it happening. Right. He's like the parties are very interested. He's like it's very exciting, but I have to be realistic. That really doesn't mean a whole lot. It could just go away just like that.
And he's very wise. That's very true. That happens more often than not, unfortunately, and I mean, sometimes even agents will buy up a property just to stop it from competing with a property that's out there. And to me, that seems really slimy and bizarre, but it happens way too often.
Yeah, because they have to make room for another crappy reboot of something.
I know. There's nothing creative out there right now. Remember when I was a kid, there was that show?
Right.
Like that's all that they're thinking about now,
Yeah, there's that show, and it's been redone, exactly.
Right.
So, was there ever any talk of any kind of crossing over with any kind of a Marvel property? Was that, like, at any point along the path, was that something that either you guys approached them with, or maybe they approached you with at some point? God, could you imagine?
There wasn't a Marvel crossover, but Kevin and Pete were at a con, I think somewhere around the Midwest, and they met Peter David, who was at that time writing Spider-Man and stuff, and he they were talking to him, and I guess in their conversation they said, geez, yeah, we'd love to have somebody publish our book. So he kind of took it as they were ready to sell the book. So they got a meeting with Archie Goodwin. I actually got to go down. We went down, and we're sitting at lunch with Archie Goodwin, and Peter David came, and we're eating and like waiting for something to happen, and finally Archie said, "So Peter David here said that you two, talking to Kevin and Pete, want to, sell the Turtles and have us publish them." And Kevin and Pete were like, what? No. No, we want you to publish them. We don't want to deal with the publishing and distribution any longer. But no, we don't want to sell them. And Archie looked like totally confused and looked at everybody at the table. We all kind of looked confused, and it kind of just came down to Kevin and Pete were smart enough to say no, because they were going to give them a minuscule little percentage on the back, and and that was way before the animation kicked in and the toys and all that. So it's a very fortunate that they didn't, kind of go, oh yeah, we'll be working for Marvel, awesome,
Right.
And Libby wants to know about a Power Rangers crossover.
Oh God.
If there was a Power Rangers crossover, no.
No, I think he would like one.
They're close enough. I mean, for a while there, Fox was doing it, and they had the live action suits. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was at least a commercial that had both the Power Rangers and guys in turtle suits. So I can't confirm nor deny it didn't happen at that time frame.
Brian wants to know if they're gonna do a oh crap. What's the movie with the giant kaiju? Brian?
Pacific Rim.
Pacific. My brain just froze up. We're gonna have a Turtles Pacific Rim? Maybe.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Giant robot turtle suits controlled by each. The turtles could be inside of them. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Tawny's brainchild.
Yeah.
Oh, they could form like a really cool like
It's Mecha Gamera.
Right. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
I was thinking. Man, my brain is not
Maybe
working
steal some tech from the Krang. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
a giant Krang robot. How cool would that be?
After beating all the Krang battleships and everything, Donnie should have obviously swiped some tech from that. I mean, come on.
There you go. There you go. Exactly.
Redder's already been mechanized, evidently, so you know.
Hey, what is the lions they form? Voltron.
Voltron, yeah,
So
yeah.
like a turtle Voltron, you know?
There you go. Yeah,
Tartugatron.
yeah, each color, you know, and then
Or the Nintron.
body, you know.
But you'd need another turtle, I think.
Splinter.
Oh, Splinter. Sure. Right.
There's
Okay.
Splinter. And then of course there was the Venus, the female turtle from time to time.
What?
She was in the next generation.
The next generation.
Next mutation or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, she kind of would count, but obviously Splinter would be as well. But then but most people would see Splinter as like, you know, the sage that just does everything, you know, in the background, talking the team through, you know, the wise sage. He's always been the wise sage.
True. We could throw Casey in there then.
Right. Okay. So I
Casey.
want to talk about Casey. Casey Jones is one of my favorite characters. I love that character. Where did he come from? Like, do you know if there was any kind of inspiration or if there's any story behind him?
Well, you know, Kevin's story behind him is kind of he's a product of bad TV and vigilante. You know, he's kind of got a little twisted brain.
Right.
Watched at the time, it was a little too much T.J. Hooker. You know, and you know, kind of set him over the edge, and you know, made him angry, and had to go out and stop that violence. So that was kind of his whole thing, was basically bad.
Oh.
Was what?
TV. A guy that was. What?
We're having a little bit of connection issues. Just hold on one second.
You froze up.
Okay, you're good. You're good. So go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry. You're back
Could have
on.
been a bad something.
Right. So I liked Casey Jones. I mean, I always loved when he made an appearance, and I gotta say that I remember when I first opened up my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm looking through it, I'm like, the turtles are cool. This is really neat, you know. And of course, I instantly picked up on the Daredevil, you know, influence on that, and then you know, flipping through and stuff, and then the TCRI aliens come up, you know, and I'm just like. I was like, what? I mean, that was so creative. Just to think of that. And then I was reading, it was sometime later, because I read this later. I had the books for a long time. I never read them, and then I finally got around to reading them later on in life. I started reading the John Carter of Mars series, and I forget which book it is, but it's like the third book maybe, Warlord of Mars, I think it was. They have these creatures that are kind of like these bodies, which are kind of like drones, and they have these like these octopusy-like things that climb up on their necks and control the bodies. And I was like, I wonder if that was any influence on that.
You know, I'm sure it was, because, you know, that those are, you know, some of the stuff that everybody read, you know, or, you know,
Right.
Pete's a fan of that. Kevin's a gigantic Corbin fan, and of course, owning heavy metal, and Corbin did some of that John Carter stuff. Kevin even had a painting that he was able to get when we still had an apartment together, this beautiful, you know, John Carter fighting, it was just amazing painting by Corbin.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
And so yeah, you can guarantee that was in both of their brains probably when that was going on.
That was awesome. I just, it was such a cool like villain to have. You know, it was just off the wall, but it wasn't dumb off the wall. It was neat.
You know, one of my favorite neat things, you know, was Pete. I'm almost 1,000% Pete came up with this, but the Triceratons, I don't know if you saw them later in the book.
Yep.
They're like asteroid ships were just so cool to me, where there's a world on top of this asteroid, and it was almost like an iceberg where it kind of trickled down in the big engines, and they could just move them around. I thought, that is the coolest thing I think I've ever seen. You know?
Yep. And I think some of those early comics are so iconic to me because, you have this age where, you're somewhere between like 11 and say 17, 18. That's a very influential age on imagery and just iconic stuff. I'll even take it down to 10 or whatever. And Mike, I'm gonna go there. So that's in 1980. You're gonna see in 1980 the movie Flash Gordon came out, and it is the worst movie. No, but I'm going there for this reason. It is a horrible movie, but I love it. I love it, and I love it. I think because I was 10 when I saw it, and it just imprinted on me.
Come on, Flash!
Yeah.
Oh,
Queen song, man.
Awesome movie.
Well, the soundtrack.
Awesomely bad movie. But it is. I can't tell you how many times me and Kevin watched that movie over and over. Just loved it. Went down to the video store, grabbed it, and it was horribly bad. But I still, like you say, I mean, even at this stage, I was older than that, and I see Flash Gordon, see that logo. All I can hear is Queen guitar in the background,
right?
And then really crazy skies, like with flying fat men coming down from there.
But that was, I mean, not to be like an old man going, back in my day, but I really think the 80s had some really horrible stuff, but it also had some really just amazing artistic stuff. Fire and Ice, the work with Frazetta, everything Frazetta did. Just the old heavy metals. I mean, heavy metal continues that, but like the old like Milo Manera? Manera, yeah. I want to pronounce it right.
My Little Pony? What?
No,
What did you say?
Oh. The opposite of My Little Pony, but
right. But that stuff, the stuff that came out of that era, there's just so much good stuff that came out of that, and I look for a lot of that today, and I'm sure it's there, but I'm older now, so it's kind of hard for me to spend a lot of time looking for that kind of stuff, because when you're younger, you have all the friggin' time in the world
to explore and find it with stuff,
Right.
Yeah. Very true. Well, I think it's a different place now. I mean, I've got my sons are in their 20s, and I think that they look at YouTube all the time, and you talk about a world of content and some really amazing content. You go on there and see what people are doing and putting up there. But it's short little doses of it, but it's still pretty incredible. But again, you need the time, and you have to be at that age where you can just look at all kinds of different stuff. And as you get older, as you know, life seems to eat up those little bit of that free time where you can just kind of randomly, I'm going to check that out. If you're at the video store back then, I remember finding Evil Dead.
Greatest.
Yeah.
Oh, it was wonderful, but it was one of those things you look at it didn't play in the theaters. You had no working knowledge of this movie, and you read the back. I think there was a little thing by Stephen King that said, "This is the greatest horror movie I've seen in years," and coming from both of us from Maine, we were like, "Hey, Stephen King says it's good. We better check it out."
Right. We best get on it.
But it come to find out there's a great example of that. That was one of those things where you just like, how did these guys make this movie back then? It was just mind blowing. It was very cool. In knowing that it was basically a college movie. When you read about it and find out a little bit more, it kind of blew my mind.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, dude, that Evil Dead is that's right up there in my top movies. I mean, that is just I can still watch that original, and it holds up. It's awesome, and I'm not one to actually get scared in horror movies. I mean, they don't really scare me. There's like jump out moments and stuff where you're like, oh, okay. That one actually is scary. It's an actually, honest to God, like scary movie. It makes you like, after I saw that, later on, I'd be thinking about it, like, oh God, I get the heebie-jeebies just thinking about some of that stuff.
I agree. It was just very well done, and I think probably the fact that it was low budget at that time helped. I remember reading that he had they didn't have a dolly shot, to go through the woods. He had it like strapped to a 2x4 that was kind of duct taped to him
Yep.
as he was running through the woods to get that kind of scary chasing the girl.
That demon visual thing, yeah.
Well, they call it. They say that he invented the shaky cam. That technique was invented because he didn't have any money, and they still use it today. It gets that effect.
And sometimes to nauseum today, but if you use it right, it's still a great effect.
Oh, sure.
Watch out, Blair Witch.
Right.
Yeah.
Or as we say in Baltimore, Blair Witch.
Steve, you were talking a little bit about like with the kids, like when, we were all younger watching stuff and versus what the kids are into today. It just based on what your experiences are. Do you think that kids today have a shorter attention span?
What's that, Mike?
Or is it just sort of the media? Is the media driving the attention, or is the attention driving the media?
I think. I honestly don't know. I like to think. I mean, my kids, they can watch a documentary for hours. So I don't know if that's the case. I think it's just what they're finding out there is a lot more creative in shorter doses, or on these, on the YouTube channels and stuff. And I have people come into. I've got a shop here in town, and I have teenage, high school age kids come in, and they're always like, "Hey, have you ever seen the Joker blog on YouTube?" And I'm like, nope, never think to go to YouTube to watch anything like that, And then they'll, I'll find it, and it's incredible. It's really cool. It's mind-blowing what these filmmakers are doing. And I think when we were younger, we had to, if you made a film, like at Sam Raimi, you were showing it in your garage on a sheet, and it had no sound. And it was you, trying to do something and trying to create a special effect with your friends, and you shot that for a week. Now kids can take their phone, shoot a movie, and upload it that.
Oh, we lost Steve again for a second there. He's froze up.
A minute.
That's all right. He'll unfreeze.
There we go.
There you go.
Back?
You're back.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's tons of crap too. Just like anything, any old, if you can go into the old video stores, half the rack was crap, but there was always those gems you could find. And I think that's what the kids are searching probably on there. Does that sound right? The kids searching on there for that type of stuff?
On the YouTube?
On that tube? Yep.
I'm of the opinion that the technology, and yes, the media is kind of driving the attention span, but I think it's looked at in the wrong way. Like, it's kind of counterintuitive. We might think, oh yeah, look at these kids. They can't even sit in front of a 10-minute video. Well, there is so much out there as opposed to, what was around before. And there's just, you can consume, things in 2 minutes, over 5 minutes, and then you can move on to the next thing. And like you said, and it is a wonderful time for content creators because they can find a niche and get in there and be their own produced, outfit. And
we're sitting here tonight, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We didn't have to ask anybody if we could do this show.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing because we have the opportunity to be creative and do this kind of stuff and and talk with people like you. It's awesome. And that's why I'm like really big on this net neutrality thing. I think if that gets squashed, it's going to kill so much innovation. I think that is a horrible.
Yep.
I mean, it will be an unbelievable blow to creativity.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, So.
And you got Libby in the chat room pumping up your store too. So
tell us about your store. He said it's really cool. He said we need to check it out.
Well, it's a small store. It's a nice little shop. I've got life-size turtles there, so that kind of helps get people through the door.
Right.
And I kind of get a little bit of comics. I get some collectible stuff, of course. Initially, it was just going to be an art store and maybe some random collectibles. And then Pete offered the turtles that used to be in the Words and Pictures Museum, and they were kind of based on the first movie Turtles. So
nice.
When I got those, it kind of turned into Shellback Artworks, which has a much bigger turtle theme. And so I've got them down in the main floor and got some art supplies, some different collectibles, some stuff I've picked up over the years, and, of course, all kinds of turtle stuff that's leaking out of my garage that's been in bins for years. And and I've got a little gallery space upstairs that I kind of plug in different things. Some stuff is for sale. I've got a Kirby page up there. Got some Hanna-Barbera, old model sheets from Johnny Quest, and
that's cool.
Just all kinds of different stuff like that. As you know, and I'll switch stuff out as it goes along.
So do you have a web page for that?
I have a Facebook page.
Okay, good. I just liked it, and I'll put it in the links for this show. So when people are watching it, they'll be able to get to it right away.
Right, yeah, I try to share as much as I can on that. I'm not a big Facebook share Steve Lavigne guy, but Shellback Artworks, I pump the hell out of that.
Well, that's good. Cool.
All right, I know we're coming up on an hour, and so you let us know how you're doing on time. But I do have one more question, which is more of a kind of in the future if you could take control of any and everything having to do with the turtle, property, where would you like to see it go? Where would you take it if you had the reins? It was just handed over to you.
Wow, that's a broad. Truthfully, and I don't want to sound like this is a cop out, but I look at what Nick is doing. Those guys are, they're just doing it perfectly in my mind.
Yeah.
They were fans. They grew up with the property. They've added so many elements to it. They've updated it, made it really fresh and cool. And again, now every new season seems to like they're really hitting their stride and really kind of getting that perfect hybrid between the smart black and white comic and the goofy funness of the original animated show to make this, I think just what I would, if I was to make that a turtle show right now, it would be that. It would be that.
I have to agree. It's really cool. Mike, have you seen the show yet?
I have not.
Oh, you have to. Dude.
Really.
I'll check it out. Definitely. I guess because I know if I had my druthers, if all of a sudden everyone in the world just died off and it fell in my lap, I would take it back to like its roots. I would take it back to the gritty, more PG-13 / rated R. You know what I mean? I'd make them bad. And I would love kind of Pete. I'm thinking of like pulling a Ministry on them. There was a band called Ministry
I know Ministry. Yep.
Remember how they, there was like every day is Halloween, and then they finally just said screw all that, and they did what they wanted to do, and then Land of Reap and Honey came out, and like all these little teeny boppers went and they put the record down, and it was just like,
what? What just happened?
What is that? Record in?
It's
I would literally have all, and I know it would be wrong, but I would have all these kids opening up going,
ah! What's funny about that is
I choked him with a pizza.
I was reading an article by Alien Jurgensen, and he was talking about the early days of Ministry, and he said that he knew that there was all these bands out there who tried to do their own thing, and they would try to do their own thing, and they would all finally sell out at some point. So he said they just sold out right away. They did the record deals. They had a record deal. They did the number of records they were required to do by the record company, and then the last record they did with the record company under that title, they just did their own thing. And that's what he said. That's what we wanted to do. He said what we became is what we wanted to start as, but he knew they wouldn't be able to. So he got his foot in the door, got the fan base, and then they just flipped the script.
And hopefully the fans will follow.
Oh, they kind of did. I have it's funny they did, because I have a friend of mine who was really into that old Ministry, the old version of Ministry, and she loved them. And then the new album came out, and I was like, oh, I loved it myself because I didn't like the older stuff. And she was like, I don't know why they had to do that. And she's still a fan of Ministry, but she's still a fan of the old Ministry. I'm like, what the
I like the old Ministry.
I like the old Ministry. It's like, she didn't go away. I was like, they just pissed on your face, okay? It's like, but you'll just stand there and take it.
Yeah. I think that's the way fans can be, though. I mean, we've gotten the backlash. Fans are we love them. And I can honestly say that in all the years of doing shows and meeting people, probably on one hand, I can have two fingers that I could probably point out where it was like, okay, never want to see that person again and never want to see that person again. But like anything, if you play around with something, they let you know instantly, you know, and you know, when we would do just the subtlest little thing that we thought, oh, this is a natural progression with these characters, you know, they're growing up, this is going to happen, or this is going to happen. Somebody, you know, we'd get hate mail. You know,
Wow.
I remember when Clunk the cat died in one of the books, you would have thought that we went to people's houses and murdered their pets.
Jeez.
You know,
And you're doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless of what they think, you're doing it right if you get them upset.
Oh crap! We need to get some hate mail.
I mean, come on. Like DC did the same thing when they killed Robin. I mean,
we killed a cat. That was it. You know, it was
Yeah.
a person, you know, but it would have thought we actually went to people's houses. But, and again, I'm happy that people care that much, you know, like you say, fans, if they care that much about something, they're believing it, and that's what you want them to be, you know.
mm-hmm.
All right, that's it. I'm gonna do something to get some hate mail. We need some hate mail.
The only thing we could do is alienate a guest. And
What bastard? I'm out of here. How do I shut this thing off? How do I shut? Damn it!
dropping the mic.
None of this. None of this. Come on.
All right, so I would like to give you an opportunity also, Steve, if there's anything else currently you want to either plug, any projects you're currently working on that you can talk about, anything that you can't talk about would be preferable.
Right.
And,
Just spill that.
anything else.
That's
And
all
then,
good.
You know, depending upon how you're feeling and what your timeline is now that we're actually here, we do have we do a game section that is going to be coming up next. So if you're interested, you're welcome to stay. It's a game called Bet the Geek. It's video related. I think we can run the video, Pete. It's up to you. But
Yeah, we got it. That's good.
I may pass on the game, guys. I've had
Okay.
a great
Okay.
time.
No, that's fine.
I will shamelessly promote Shellback Artworks. You know, check that out, and please stop in and visit. Unfortunately, I'm there way more often than I'd like to be. I you know, am still doing a lot of stuff for IDW. I do right now. I'm doing the Pizza Eating Cowabunga covers, and I've managed to have Pete ink a few of my covers and stuff. So that's stuff to watch out for. And other than that, like I say, you know, this is a blast, guys.
Cool,
Does
thanks.
Shellback have a web presence too?
Just a
It does have a Facebook page. I do not have a website.
Okay.
I had a Steve Lavigne illustration site for years, but I found I was just kind of like handing my card and telling people, okay, if you want to see some art, go there. It
Okay.
wasn't getting the foot traffic
Yeah.
that Shellback gets. So Shellback gets a lot of, again, I thank the fans because I know they shared in the Technodrome. It's shared and reshared, but hey, I get a shamelessly self-promoted anyway. So
Sure, absolutely. No, that's
Definitely.
absolutely.
That's what we're here for.
So do you have if somebody wants to contact you for you know, illustration work, because I think you said you do freelance, you're doing freelance illustration stuff.
I do a lot of commissions, you know, now with the comics too. A lot of the blank variants seem to be the hot thing. You know, people seem to send those blank variants and ask for different things on them. So yeah, commissions, anything like that, you can contact me through the Facebook page. And
Okay, good. So you get, they send you a message through that'll get to you. You'll check that out.
yeah, I'm the guy usually checking it out. So yeah,
Cool.
please do. I'm always happy to do that. And you know, you guys in the gaming world, you know, I'm always happy to do, you know, that type of stuff too. So
You hear that, Jay Libby?
I talked to Jay about a property that I have that I bought off Fanatics, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll talk about it. We haven't yet, Jay."
Right, Jay. You hear that? He's calling you out right in front of everybody. If you don't do this, you can never. I'll tell you what. All right, so Steve, check this out. I have a thing I've been working on, which I've put off until 2015. I'm going to start it in January 2015. I've been kind of fooling around with it, but I haven't worked on it because I just haven't had the time to put the attention into it that I want to. When I release it, I want it to be kick-ass, right? So it's a thing. It's a project called Mythic Steel, and he's always giving me shit about it because he's like, "Where's Mythic Steel? Where's Mythic Steel?" And I'm just like, "Dude, I just don't have the time right now to do it right." So Jay, until you work with Steve, you cannot say another bad thing about Mythic Steel.
Oh, great! I'm fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jay will send him like $10
bucks. Bargaining chip in there. I'm glad I could be bargaining chip.
He'll send
That's
him
awesome.
$10 to do a stick figure or something. You know, I hired him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
For the chalk outline guy, you remember he was on the ground? You know,
That's right.
he's an evil guy. He's the chalk outline.
His enemy is
Nice.
water.
Oh, okay. I gotta ask this. throughout the history of the comics, you know, the Turtles obviously fought things besides the Krang and the Foot Clan and Shredder. They had some pretty far out villains. Who was your favorite, most ridiculous villain that was ever conceived in the comics?
In the comics or on the cartoon? Because there was far weirder stuff on the cartoon.
Let's just go with just the most weird villain conceived ever for the property.
For the property, wow, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to think if he was a villain or not.
Because I found a poll list of like the 13 most ridiculous TNT villains of all time. And I remembered reading the comics and seeing some of these villains, and oh my god, I totally have to agree. Because my personal favorite is Monster Rex. Monster Rex was the combination of Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and the creature from Black Lagoon and the Mummy, all in this one horrible two-headed creature behemoth.
Okay.
And oh my god, I loved it.
Okay, I'll tell you, that was Ryan Brown's creation. Ryan had a way of mashing things together. He got a lot of the later toys, like there was a witch doctor elephant. That was one of Ryan's. There was a moose that was a Mountie. That was another one of Ryan's. And so he was very literal at times with some of the stuff where I think a lot of us were looking for something a little more. But yeah, that was a Ryan thing, and yeah, that was a pretty bizarre one. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Nice.
I did a later book that was kind of like Monster Island in Tales just a few years ago, and it was a very bizarre book in itself. And again, it was a Ryan story that had almost like a King Ghidorah monster and all these other things, and it was just so bizarre. Mothman was in it, and there was just all these whacked out things. And again, it harkens back to that in Monster X, you know, where it's the perfect blend. Ryan also had a concept, the Halloweeners. A dog monster. So you had a Dracula, you had a Frankenwiener, you had, you know, a creature from the Black Wiener. I don't know what that one was.
Sounds like a date night.
So you put all that together, you can see where some of that stuff comes. Some very punny things came out back then, you know. So
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at another one, Vid Vicious.
Again, a Ryan character.
Yeah, part man, part satellite dish, and oh my god, these villains were great.
Oh yeah, Ryan had it, and oh god, yeah, Vid Vicious. There was a couple other ones that were just insane. Motorhead was another one that was a living body with a motor head.
Yeah, did he do a Billy Bomb?
Belly Bomb, yes.
Yeah, so that was another Ryan Brown one, because Belly Bomb was weird.
Those were a lot of the Archie things. They were all Archie things, and they were very bizarre. That was when they got to kind of do their own things after kind of started weaning off the TV show and got to kind of create all those weird. There's a lot of weird stuff in the Archie Turtle books. Steve Murphy, who was at the time writing as Dean Clarraine because he thought it would hurt his Puma Blues name, Steve Murphy, so he was writing as Dean Clarraine. Him and Ryan kind of spearheaded the Archie book, so that's where a lot of that stuff came from.
Huh. All right, well, let's not keep Steve much longer because he was gracious enough to give us the time that he did. Steve, if you ever want to come back on this show, you are more than welcome.
I had a blast. If you ever want me back, I'm sure you can just hit me up and I'll find my way back on.
Awesome. That is fantastic. Maybe I was thinking about doing a Christmas show where we'd have people just come in and out, maybe, or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Do we have to wear hats and eggnog and the whole thing?
Whatever you want. You can
as long as you're drunk, it doesn't matter what you're drinking.
You got to be drinking, yes.
Oh, that's never an issue here.
Awesome. All right, Steve. Well, we don't want to keep you any longer. Thanks a lot for coming on the show, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you, Steve.
Thank you very much. We'll see you.
Awesome.
So just click out Steve up there at the top with the. There you go. Cool. All right, that was fantastic. What a good guest. So what are we doing next, fellers?
We can discuss see how you feel depending on time. We can do the game if you want. It doesn't matter. I have it all ready to go. We can definitely still do a what you're geeking on, because I've been watching this past week and I watched a lot of movies.
Okay, I don't know what did I do this weekend. Did I do any geeking on this weekend? Well, I'll start because mine's very simple, very easy. We are wrapping up our gaming campaign. So we've been playing this system called EBA, which is by the same guy that Mike you hate with the Time Lords and stuff. But it's a campaign we've been playing for about a year and a half, maybe.
Jesus.
Maybe a year.
Sheesh.
Maybe it's been the last year. I can't remember. I go on City and Portal and look. But we're wrapping it up. As a matter of fact, while you and I are at Dragon Con, they're going to be playing the last episode, as it were.
Are you serious? They're
Yeah.
gonna do you dirty like that?
Dude, I don't care. It's fine. It's fine.
That's fucked up.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't care. Because when I come back, the next night that we play, we're going to be playing 7th Sea. So I'm very excited about that. I love me some 7th Sea.
Mike's pirate face.
Right. So I'm very, very excited
It's a
about
pirate's booty for you.
that. Right.
Bunch
So-
of men on a ship.
So that's it. I've been kind of geeking. I've been kind of geeking on that because I've been planning my character out. I've been reading through a lot of the books and stuff, trying to figure out what character I'm gonna play and how I'm gonna write his background and stuff. So.
Don't you miss the good old days when we used to just go to John? I want to play this guy. Okay.
No,
Pretty much you'll be
actually,
that guy.
dude. I don't. I mean, we could still do that. I could just I could just pick out something and make it up and just roll with it, right? But
Right.
I really get into it. I really like the whole creation process of writing the backstory and all that stuff. So that's what I'm geeking. That's my geek.
All right. So you're geeking on some honest to goodness role playing.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bri.
See here. Well, during A-Fest, we got to play the new D&D Next, or the 5th edition.
Oh shit!
So-
All right.
That was a lot of fun. And I love that now they do this thing. Again, I never played 4th edition, so I did not know if this was in there, but now they do this thing called backgrounds, where you can give your character a background like an archetype. Like you can make your guy a sailor, a monster hunter, all this stuff. And I wanted to make a character as close as I could based on this miniature I got from like a paint and bring home kind of thing. It's a pirate adventure. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I want to make a pirate. You know, so it was cool. It let me have a sailor background, which gave me a bunch of bonuses to my character. You know, piratey equipment I had, and it was pretty much a ranger with a great sword and a crossbow.
Right.
That's all I needed. That's all I did, and it was a lot of fun. Also got to play a little bit of. I never expected I was going to be doing this, but I got to play some more Pokemon because you guys saw what I posted on the MythWits page. There was a.
God damn it.
Oh yeah, I can do
Swear
that.
to God, if I get my
can do
hands
that
on
too.
those cards,
Hey,
they
I
are
can do that
gone.
too.
Pokemon.
Suck it, nerds. I got Dragonite up in this bitch.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
So tell us about the Pokemon thing. That was cool.
Okay, so me and my crew, we just finished interviewing Ian Sinclair. I'm still getting the interviews off my camera for that, and I'll bring them up to you later.
Cool.
We were chilling, and then I don't know. Me and George, we brought our 3DSs. We were battling each other and just playing, and then we saw this group of these attendees just with 3DSs. We started talking. Then this guy came in. And we thought he was like a parent that was with one of the attendees or something, and turns out he was con staff. And he had a 3DS I've never seen. It was just solid white, solid gray. It was practically this,
Right.
just solid white and solid gray, which I've never seen. And he just gave a couple people, hey, do you want a shiny Ditto and some random eggs? And, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, because my friend George was doing a similar thing for the spirit of spreading the love of geekdom. My friend George was giving away shiny Pokemon all weekend to random people he met on the street. And we're even thinking about doing a MythWits kind of thing where each of my Dallas crew gets to be a MythWits kind of gym leader, and we have a theme. So we're thinking about doing that for the future.
Okay.
Because a lot of people love the shiny Pokemon giveaway we were doing. People started recognizing us because every time we gave people a shiny Pokemon, we would kind of talk about our podcast. We would give them a card. We still had cards left over. And this person was playing and the eggs hatched, and these were 4 legendary Pokemon that were unobtainable in the US. Some of them weren't even unobtainable in Japan yet. And we lost our shit. We're like, what the fuck? And he said, well, Nintendo sent us a few beta games and 3DSs with all this stuff, and there are 10 of us all over the con, all over the area, and 30 people per staff member would have gotten that shiny Ditto and those eggs. It was just a secret little thing that you had to really pay attention for. And I thought that was really neat because, the con, you got the big events, you got the concerts, the panels, the contests, but then stuff is in between the cracks. Stuff goes through the cracks, and it makes you want to really pay attention about what's going on in the con.
Yeah.
And
not just the stuff you need a blacklight for.
Pretty much.
Or a sensitive nose in your case.
Other than that, I'm heavily considering picking up Harebrained Schemes Golem Arcana. I really want to try picking that up. Have you guys seen it at all at Gen Con?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Really? Because they had a fairly big presence at Gen Con.
Yeah, I wish I had gone to Gen Con this year.
Yeah.
I wish I could have. I couldn't swing it this year.
You guys went last year, didn't y'all?
I did go. I went last year.
You
went last year. Okay, because I know they were there last year when the game was in the Kickstarter phase. It was pretty. It's one of those gateway games that tries to get board gamers and even video gamers to the miniature genre of gaming.
Oh, okay.
Like War Machine, War, and all that stuff. So what this game is, it's amazing because the guy who made Mage Knight, BattleTech,
right,
and Shadowrun made this game.
Okay.
And what I love is, it's a tabletop miniatures war game. But what's cool is they have an app that comes with the game that you put on your smartphone or on your tablet, and it assists you in playing the game. Like, when you play Warhammer or War Machine, there's all that math, and you have to think of line of sight, cover, and no, the app does that for you. Literally, They give you a custom stylus. Right. You tap the model, like let's say, I want to move. I touch the model. And then they come with these tiles. They all use this microdot system. It's a Bluetooth stylus. Okay, I want to move my character, so tap the model. And you tap what square on the map you want to move. And if it's a legal move, the app will tell you in real time. Yeah, I want to do that.
Shit.
And then you move it. Look it up, man.
Skylanders game or something. It's very
No. Like literally, all the app does, it literally helps you throughout the match. If you don't want to do the gamer math. It also, you can still play the game just hardcore original style with dice and all that, but stuff that you would kind of forget because of all these rules and everything, like, this Mage Knight has Key9 gives you 20% accuracy, and all that crap you would have to write down. No, it's stored in the app.
What's the name of this again?
You shouldn't need the app if you're a hardcore gamer anyway.
It's called Golem Arcana.
Golem Arcana.
The game literally just went live in stores a few days ago, back on the 13th. The core game is $80. You get 2 factions. It's pretty much like any miniature starter set, and your stylus in the app, and I think it was 6 map tiles. And right now they just announced that pretty much every month they're coming out with a release, and it's a really interesting concept because the basic premise is, in this fantasy world, the Khan, or the Great King, has died, and now all these factions are fighting to control the empire the Khan used to occupy. And their weapon of choice are these golems, these giant constructs that are made. Some of these are made out of bone, plants, stone, sand, and all these golems have a little Mage Knight that would be on top of them or riding on the golem. It looks so cool,
Okay, so hold on one second. I'm going to pull this up so our fans can see it.
Yep, there it is. And pretty much what he's holding, that's the stylus he's holding in his hand. And literally, this app, like let's say, they also come with cards. You don't have to tap on the models. You can actually tap on the cards because there's a card for each model.
It's a total RFID type thing, Pete.
I don't think it's
so,
RFID.
probably.
No, I don't know.
From the stylus to the thing, so the stylus knows which one it's touching.
It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, because all of the models, the bases, and all of the tiles have microdots, and that's how the stylus reads. Okay, these set of dots means it's this model or this attack or this movement step, and you know they're trying, and you know they're still trying to come up with some new ways to make it even cooler. Like they want to do augmented reality. I don't know if they met that stretch goal in Kickstarter, but you know, you can just hold up your tablet on the board and it just shows in real time all the information floating on the board. I've seen the prototype. They had a prototype working, but I don't know if they had the money for it. But you know, that's something I'm really interested in picking up. Because I mean, almost no one I know here in Dallas plays Warhammer anymore since Games Workshop doesn't like money apparently. Ooh, shots fired. Anyways,
Watch out.
and then, of course, War Machine, we just didn't get enough people to get into War Machine. And, you know, I think this one would be kind of cool because what's neat is you can have it, like the way you can pair it up, because you would think, oh, of course, you have to share the stylus. The way it works, you can actually have 2 styluses and 1 tablet. Or, you know, 2 tablets and 1 stylus. You can. That's how it connects. It's very flexible on how you want to play. That's why I was really kind of shocked at least you, Pete, didn't see it at Gen Con because they had a fairly big presence over there.
Dude, Gen Con is so fucking huge and so much going on. It's kind of like, hey, I was in New York. I can't believe you didn't see me there. You know? So, it's just, there's so much.
Yeah, but that's something I'm probably going to pick up in the next couple of weeks. I mean, it still depends because I start my final semester in junior college tomorrow, so I want to try and plan out my time properly. So that's just something I'm definitely picking up, and something you guys should definitely check out. I mean, come on, this is from the people who made BattleTech, Mage Knight, and Hero Clicks.
Right. Yep,
So they're all golems. Do you think maybe in a next revision of it, you can, you know, kind of customize your own golem?
Well, I don't know about that because here's the thing: the models are pre-painted. These are prefabricated models because this isn't like where like Warhammer or War Machine. You can make your own custom models by modifying it, cutting certain pieces, sanding them down, or filing them down. But they're still playing with it. They have a lore set up. There is room for expansions, which means new factions, new styles. I mean, these golems they're not just humanoid, you know, friggin' robots. I mean, some of these golems are amazing. There's one called the Sand Lion, which is this armored lion, the Dune Viper, which is a giant snake. And there was one thing I saw, it was a Colossus, and it had like a ornate golden bull's head on it. And it's one of the largest models in the set. And in the lore background, they said this model is so big and colossal and massive that wherever it walks, it destroys the terrain.
Huh.
So,
when you said Golem,
I was
thinking, Smeagol loves this game. It's wonderful.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
Pony Golem.
Oh, yeah. Pony Golem. How about Furry Golem?
Ain't no furry Golem, bitch.
All right, let's move on to the next segment. I don't want this show to go too long.
It's like poking a caged bear with a stick. Shit.
Hey, I get your reference, bear.
It was just the quick of the draw. Quick draw, McGraw.
All right, so Mike, let's do it. Let's play
I figure let's do it because we can.
Let's do
it'll be good practice for me.
Let's do
Make sure see how this edit went and all that kind of stuff. So,
Bet the
Brian,
Geek.
we're gonna do a We're gonna do a Bet the Geek.
All right.
You've done a Bet the Geek before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me do the old add videos to this playlist.
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go ahead. You do your thing. Do your thing.
Brian, when I paste it in here, right? I need some education on the fly. I paste it in there, right? And then I hit search. As soon as I hit search, it starts to play though. Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess as soon as that's just what Google assumed. It's like, oh, you were searching for this video, one for the Hangout. Okay, let's play it for you. We assume you're ready for it. It's like,
maybe it's because I'm putting in the exact link or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, we never really tried just searching generically and not having the exact title, so that could be a thing. But
so, because I didn't come up with any music. I've downloaded some more music and stuff.
Oh, don't say that out loud.
What? No, I mean music. I mean like some game showy type music. All Creative Commons, of course.
Right.
I actually, minus the crap I've been, looking for a different game show like Millionaire. I got a bunch of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and all that crap. But there's also some pretty cool Creative Commons stuff too. So.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna do Bet the Geek.
All right.
As you guys, huh?
All right. I'm sorry. Go.
As you guys remember, we're gonna first. I'm just gonna start playing it. I'm gonna push to talk, and as you know, first we will be meeting the geek.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm here with Brian Gregory.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
All right, so we are going to play Cube of Death.
Actually, my name's Jeff. You got it wrong.
Shit.
No.
Well, it doesn't say anything on the card. Okay, here we go. This is, all right, I will give you the choice. Would you like an animation question?
What's up, Max Headroom?
Huh?
What's up, Max Headroom?
Why me? What?
Don't you see the jitters?
Is it? Oh.
It's very jittery, but go ahead. It's fine. Good.
Okay. Then I guess I should have said yes. YouTube, make the shaky go away. Sorry.
Oh, God.
We'll do that right after. Anyway, because anyone can play. If you're listening to this, you can always go to the MythWit page after we play the game. We make it public, so you can actually go ahead and play along with us, or play along after the fact. That's what one of the ways we designed this game. But if you've listened to it, then you will know the answers. So have fun with that. All right, so let's go. Here's going to be your intro. You get the three questions that he's going to get. You'll get his baseline.
Yes, there's questions. How about that? Actually, we'll just go through all this. What the hell, right? Here's an animation question. On what popular TV show did The Simpsons make their first appearance?
Automan.
The TV show that The Simpsons made their first appearance.
Yes, it's back in the 70s. It was an the show about a man who was generated by it was a computer simulation. He had a car that could spin, it could turn 90 degrees. And
Close.
What?
Close.
What?
It's Tracy Ullman show.
Oh.
So, okay.
How'd you like that one?
Nope.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
Thank you. All right, keep going.
Sci-fi. How much power did Emmett Brown's device need to send the hero back in time?
1.21 gigawatts!
That is correct.
See, I know one.
Yay! All right. Fantasy. In what 1975 film does the quote, "We are all the knights who say nee" come from?
This one I also know. It's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Here
I was
comes
gonna
question
say
one. Any comments?
I was gonna say he better have gotten that last question right, or I was gonna lose my shit on live camera.
We never know.
Never know.
Like the last guest, our
Ben.
guest was bad.
Yeah. Don't worry, I have another whole set of his coming. Okay.
Oh,
Question number one.
all right.
What is Racer X's car number?
All right, gentlemen.
That's a good one. That's a good question.
I'm going Pete and then Brian this time.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to write mine down. Committing.
Okay. Well, you could tell me. I'm keeping track.
Okay, no. I'm going to say no. He's not going to know it.
No. How about you, Bri?
I think he might get it. Despite the Tracy Ullman question, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with yeah. He's gonna get it.
I'm also gonna warn you, because a couple of the cuts are a little bit fast. So when I stop it, you'll see it says there's two of them this time that I stop, and just because the way it worked out, you have an opportunity to change your answer. You know how I do that once in a while?
Yeah.
It's just gonna be as I'm editing, I go, ooh, that's a good one to see if they're gonna want to change their answer or not. So I don't think this one is, but let's see.
3.15. You made me laugh. Damn it! Stop making me laugh.
That would be number 9.
Oh. He likes it.
Any idea?
Does he know Yoko Ono?
I'm just for shits and giggles.
That was an obscure reference, by the way.
I had to find the obscure reference and I had to post it just for him.
Oh,
Brian.
God.
Not you, Brian, but him, Brian. Anyway. I had to look out the hell Yoko Ono number 9. I had no idea. I mean, that one for me was.
Oh, man.
So yeah, here we go.
Any idea what his car's name was? I didn't think so.
Oh.
All right. So,
I didn't think so.
Brian is down. Pete's up a point. So yeah, here's question number 2.
Moving on, animation.
Fred?
What century does Duck Dodgers reside in?
God. Please, man. Please. It's Looney Tunes, man.
Peter?
I'm gonna say yes. He's got to know this one.
I gotta say yes as well. God, it's fucking Looney Tunes! Son of a bitch!
All right, here we go.
St. Bernard?
Duck Dodgers and the...
Anybody want to change their answer? I know, don't you hate it? Because it's like, well, you fucking gave him a hint, and he's probably just messing around. He probably knows it. Yeah, he knows it. But does he?
I'm sticking.
I'm sticking. Effing, I'm sticking.
All right, both of you are sticking. If you're sticking, I'm licking. Here we go.
8th dimension?
24 and a half century.
Wow. Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Oh.
A dimension. He got a SpongeBob reference instead of Looney Tunes.
There you go.
Oh my God. You're killing me, Smalls.
Pete is ahead by 1, but don't worry, Brian. We have 3 more questions to go.
Looney Tunes, man. This stuff's older than my folks.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's not older than me.
Oh, this is the science and technology.
Know the science ones. Know the science ones. Science. Know the science ones.
What is the most abundant element in the universe?
Oh, gentlemen. Hey, how'd you like that? I know the science ones. It's not the science ones.
You are like Mike Headroom.
You like that?
Catch the wave.
Catch the science.
Oh God, he's got to know this. Come on, this is like basic. This is fucking. He sends shit into space.
Brian, were you on with Brian?
I think so, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was Brian Bot, and right.
Yeah.
He suck because like unfortunately, and this is what I learned, Pete, is we need to like do an actual like interview. Tell me about yourself. What do you do for a living?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, so
I'm gonna say yes.
Yes for Brian and yes for Peter.
God, he's got to know this. Fuck, he's got to know this. Yes, I can't believe he doesn't know this.
No.
Oh.
I know the right answer, so I cannot.
Okay, give me the right answer.
Tell a lie. It is hydrogen.
It is hydrogen.
It was a little sweaty there when he was like, no. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I did some editing. He was like, oh, no. I really want to give a snarky answer, blah, 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 but it wasn't worth putting it all in. So, yes. So, at the end of 3 questions, Peter with 2 points, Brian with 1 point. And it is anyone's game.
Okay, all right. Sci-fi. In Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh, good, because this is a tough one. Who are the 3rd worst poetry writers in the universe?
I'm gonna say yes, and if he gets this wrong and he comes back on the show, someone's gonna have to hold me back. For Christ's sakes! And you said this was a hard one.
This is so easy.
I haven't read the book in 5 years, and I still remember this. I haven't even seen the movie in 7.
He's got to know this. He's got to know this. So yes, he's got to know this.
All right.
I mean, poetry is only mentioned in the book once. Go ahead.
Oh, the third worst. Well, the worst are the Vogons. Clearly. Are they the third worst?
Anybody want to change their answer?
God damn it, you're killing me.
I know. It's the best part of the game that I just changed. It's awesome, isn't it? It's like the ultimate F you.
He's fighting with it. He's like, well, the worst are the Pogons, and they're not.
You know what? No, I'm sticking with it. Go. Just God.
He's gonna.
Okay,
He's.
Brian sticks with it.
I'm gonna stick with it because he's gonna. Oh, fuck, damn it. He's gonna. He's gonna go. Oh no, maybe the third worst. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. He's still gonna stick with it.
Okay. All right.
Are they the third worst? Oh, that's right. They are the third worst because the other two you cannot listen to because they kill you. So it's the Vogons.
That is correct.
Awesome.
Congratulations, gentlemen. You successfully swerved away from my trap.
You're kidding me. Trap. Yes.
Thanks, Alan.
All right. So at the end of 4, we have Pete with 2, and Brian with 1 point still.
What?
No,
we
I got
just
it.
both got that one, so it's 3 and 2.
It's 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3 and 2. Sorry. It doesn't matter. It's the same. It could be either one.
Right. Okay.
Whatever. Yeah. Enjoy question 5, fuck faces.
Hold on, wait.
Yes, please, drink some liquid brain. Here we go. Sci-fi.
Yes.
In the film Blade Runner, what does the Nexus 6 series have that the previous incarnations did not?
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Oh shit. Even I don't know this one, and Blade Runner's in my library.
Pete, I gotta tell you.
Oh shit.
Best idea ever.
Yeah. This was a good game, huh? Yes, sir.
Aren't you having fun?
I am. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say he's gonna get this one wrong.
I need a coin. I'm literally gonna decide with a coin. Okay. Heads. Yes. Tails. No.
All right. Brian leaves it up to random chance, and
Nope. He ain't gonna get it.
no, he ain't gonna get it. All right, gentlemen. Well, let's see. Bet the geek.
Embedded memories.
I will take memories for 1,000. And that is all she wrote. Hope you had fun.
Yes, I had less.
Ah, yeah.
Well, on the bright side, Pete,
You beat me
win.
by 1. You beat me by 1.
I got 3 right. This is a good game, man. This is a good game.
I just did this as the straight point system, but I'm
Yeah,
of the
no.
opinion that maybe we should go back to the betting points.
I like that. Yep.
Okay.
Because I think that's a better chance at
Yeah. At a point spread.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you're falling behind, it gives you an opportunity to just fucking bet
Yeah.
your wad and go for it.
That's right.
Yes, sir. That was a good experiment, though. I like that. Yep.
Okay. Yep. And I think it was good. I mean, how do you guys feel about the editing? How do you guys feel about things? Now, I did look up after I edited this. I found out in working with Premiere that there is a way to do that thing where you just freeze their face.
Okay.
You know, so I might try that next time too. You know how it's like, and it just I might do bet the geek.
Yeah. Ah. So what? Where are we? Oh, so what's up with the fucking max headrooming? Do you think?
I don't know because I'm not seeing it on my end. That's weird.
Ooh.
I don't see any kind of shakiness. But I'll have to trust next time because like I didn't even see it on my computer.
So Brian, what about you? Did you see what I was seeing?
Not really, no.
Oh fuck! It's something on my computer then. That's weird. All right, well,
But
whatever.
maybe that's like the wise and powerful YouTube knows when it's going to be like that, and they're just like, hey, we've noticed a little shaky. You know how Pete gets. You might want to fix this.
Right. All right. So that is
Okay.
Bet the Geek. Do we have any
All
other
right,
videos
enjoy.
to show?
What?
Did we have any other videos to show? Did you want to, or just want to talk about stuff?
Well, I didn't get a chance to actually talk what I was geeking on. And I just want to do this really quickly because I watched, and I'll do this in the order that I saw it. I saw Frozen.
Okay.
Pete, did you see it yet?
God, have I seen it yet?
I thought so.
Oh my God, have I seen it yet?
I gotta tell you, my take on it is I was blown away by the actual CG.
Right.
I thought that they did a phenomenal job with just all the technicals on it.
Mm-hmm.
The storyline, and I'm not even gonna diss it for stupid girl power movie. No, I mean I totally got that whole part, and it was actually, even though I knew it was girl power, it was like I was still like I really want him to get to her right at the end. Let's just say spoiler alert, but the fact, I mean, everyone knows it's a girl power movie, but it doesn't exactly go like you think it's gonna go. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Dude,
the movie's been out forever. Fucking everybody, if you have a kid, if it's something you wanted to see, you've fucking seen it. So go ahead, you can spoil it.
Well, I mean, he didn't make it to her. She actually ended up saving herself, which
Right.
it was like, oh, that's actually, I appreciated that. But whatever. The whole plot was a little wonky from the first. It was a little plot holy, but it's Disney, and they're not known for their solid plot lines, I guess. Second thing I saw was Fast and the Furious, and you want to talk about some major plot holes and plots and everything. But I mean, it was, to be honest with you, even for a movie that you knew was just going to be gratuitous racing and cars and stuff. Yes, there was a couple of really cool scenes and stuff, and a crash scenes, and a couple of this and that, and it was like, okay, is it going to be this time or the next time that the best friend of the sister is going to die? Oh, there it is. It's that race that he dies. Okay, and it's like, oh well, we know that this car's not going to make it. It's going to be a different car. And, oh, look at that. It's going to be that car. Well, that makes sense. You know what I mean? It was just too. It was like reading a book that you've already seen, or like, it was like deja movie. Ooh, I like that. And the last and final movie that I saw was Captain America, and I must say, the Winter Soldier really did turn me into a Captain America fan.
Oh yeah.
And I know I'm going by just a movie, but I mean I just think, and I cannot remember the actor's name. Brian, help me.
Who played Captain America?
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans just does. You're right. I should know that, but he really does. He's transformed, and he really does a good Captain America.
And it's funny because he used to be Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four movies.
I know exactly, and whatever. But he's an amazing. He himself does a great job. The storyline I'd say was pretty solid, and I cannot compare it to the comics. And any purists out there, I apologize if I've stepped on your toes and wrinkled your comic books, but. It kind of really did kind of turn me more into a fan. The first movie was like, it wasn't too bad, but this one kind of.
If you like that Captain America, right? If you like the Captain America from the movie, that's Ultimate Captain America.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'd be from the Ultimate line, the Ultimates.
Okay. So that's that, and I've really just been totally addicted. The Simpsons had an update. The Simpsons tapped out, so I've just been tapping a lot, and. Same for the stupid Family Guy. I got stuck on that tap out game too. So that's what's been consuming my time. It was my wife's birthday, so we watched a couple of movies she wanted, and then I got to watch a movie I wanted.
Okay. Cool. All right.
We got a little short couple of news items or any cool shit on the internet.
I actually have a nice plethora of cool shit.
Awesome. Let's do it.
We gotta roll through them there because we are at 11:21.
I know we've been taking our time. Oh wait a minute, real quick before you do that, Brian, because I got a question for you on the show live. Where did you go? A-Fest?
Yep.
We need to record an episode of that at some point.
Yeah.
So this Monday, when Mike and I get back from Dragon Con, I think we're going to be too dead to do a show. So I was going to run. I got your show edited from the A-Con, right?
Yeah.
That's edited and ready to go up. I figured we'd launch it that night. And then I don't know. Then the next week we got the the comic book artists Joe and Joe Kelly and oh shit, I can't think of the other guy's name, and they've rescheduled, so I can't bump them. You know what I mean? So I got them.
Right.
So maybe the week after that, and maybe we do like we'll have to do a Dragon Con wrap up. So maybe the next free show I can get, maybe we do an A-Fest Dragon Con wrap up show. We can maybe we can wrap both cons into the one show. What do you think, Mike? You like that?
We'll call it Dragon Fest.
There you go.
Well, I mean, we could even talk about it more, but we tentatively talked about possibly a Tuesday show, or if it's just while things are fresh in our mind, even if we record it not live or something. And then we talked about maybe we do a show on our way back in the car. So we have a lot of things that are possibilities, remember?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're still playing with a lot of ideas still.
Yeah, I know. Right, con season makes it rough to get through stuff, and
Yep.
And I had planned to leave Monday open so that we could do like the Dragon Con show fresh off the con, but I just know Mike and I are going to be too dead. There's no way. There is just no fucking way.
We're getting home right when you go on the air.
Right, it's just no way. So anyway, let's get to the news.
Okay, so I found this article from our friends at Geekology. So a Chinese chef dies from a severed cobra head bite. A Chinese chef was actually preparing. In China, snake meat is a delicacy, and the cobra was beheaded, and the head was left alone for 20 minutes. He assumed that would have been enough. I mean, the head did show some reflexes. I mean, you've all seen videos of like when you chop a rattlesnake's head off, you jab at it with a stick. It's
sure, yeah, all the time.
No. Every time I got bit, my head was fake.
But what's really sad was, I mean, he got bit as he was gonna toss the head away in the trash, and he passed away shortly afterward.
Well, you never toss the head in the trash. That's why,
Maybe I should use the tongs. Use the tongs.
Maybe you should use chopsticks.
Right? Oh God!
I'm just saying.
Right? No, I hear you.
Why would you grab with your bare hand a cobra head? It may be severed, but it still does things.
Especially, right. You got a cobra head poking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. hey, at least it's not one of those East African spitting cobras. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right.
Spitting what?
The one-eyed python.
Spitting.
Oh.
Those spitting cobras. Ah, my eye!
It
I watch him put on those things.
Oh. Now, I kind of was hoping our guest would stay for this one, because someone modded the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Party Wagon into an NES.
Oh, shit.
A Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm about to pull it up right now.
All right.
This was done by Platinum Fungi. It's a nice little modification he did to the Party Wagon, lights up and everything, and it plays NES games. And I love the TMNT themed controllers.
Nice.
Which is something I thought was pretty cool. And on cool shit, I found a
Lego Turtles. Oh, what's that?
A Lego steampunk AT-AT Walker.
Jesus. Get out of here.
That's fucking crossover right there.
That is amazing. Hugh Hauser would say, "That's amazing." And there's some more close-ups to it as well. I mean,
you know me. I'm all about the Lego things.
Definitely. I mean, I just love. I mean, this just proves why Legos are still the ultimate toy, in my opinion. Just because you can take all the scrap pieces you have and just make some cool stuff on the side, and because some kits come with extra parts and stuff. But just look at that, man. Wow. Look at that shit. That's awesome.
Would you look at that?
Look at that.
Just look at it.
Hey, it could be worse. It could be worse. It could be like that black guy on Howard the Duck. Yo, man, that's a duck, man. That's a duck.
Ross, you ever see a video? Just look at it. Would you look at it?
Just look at it.
Look at it right there. Would you look at that?
Look at that. Look at that right there.
No, that's awesome.
Remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Pee Wee Herman.
Oh man. So another thing,
we gotta send this to T. Morris. He'd like that. He'd appreciate it.
All right, so I found this.
Send me that.
All
Send me
right.
that link. I'll send it to
Sure.
him.
So I found this. Are you guys familiar with a guy named Colin Furs?
No, but it's got fur in it, so Mike
Yeah,
is
so
all
I'm
in.
not liking it already.
Hold on. This guy is a classic old school inventor. This is the guy who made working Wolverine claws and magnetic shoes that let him walk on the ceiling in his garage.
Oh my
Wait a
God.
minute. What is his name again? Colin. Is he the one that does the internet show where he makes all these weapons?
He's known for his do-it-yourself X-Men devices.
Oh, okay.
He made those working Wolverine claws. He made the safety suit, which is made out of hydroformed steel, and he wore it while standing in the middle of fireworks going off. Like, if you haven't seen his videos, definitely check it out. Just look up Colin Furs or do-it-yourself X-Men Wolverine claws. That's his most favorite one. But, he's done wrist-mounted flamethrowers. I mean, this guy has way too much time on his hands.
It ain't like he's stepping on an IED or anything. I mean, what? This is firecrackers and shit. What?
Right. But I mean, still, it's one of those things. It's like, wow, it's amazing what you can do when you're bored out of your fucking mind. It's like, I'm gonna make some working Wolverine claws,
Right.
and he just goes and does it.
You know
And
what?
that's just-
Hey, you know what this needs? This needs Wolverine claws.
Like, you know what'll work? Wrist-mounted flamethrowers. I could be like Jubilee.
You know, it'd be awesome if he made more cowbell.
I'd like to see
Oh,
Freddy
man.
versus Wolverine.
Ooh, that'd be awesome, actually.
I don't think Wolverine would win in that one, but maybe. Wolverine's known for his willpower. He supposedly has like ridiculous willpower.
Yeah, but
Same thing with
he's
Batman.
little dreams. He's a pussy.
Okay, so the next one I gotta ask you guys: Have you guys saw the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, right?
Oh yeah.
The new one.
Unfortunately.
Okay. That could have been worse. Could have been Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah, no, I kind of like the one with Ed Norton, but then again, I have a bit of a man crush on Ed Norton, so.
Yeah. So it turns out that Marvel kind of planted an Ant-Man Easter egg into that movie, because the movie right now, Ant-Man is going through principal photography, and obviously here is Paul Rudd as Stephen Lang as Ant-Man, as the new Ant-Man. But if you look down, this was filmed, taken on set. If you look here, do these look familiar at all? These little sodas.
No, but I'm not an Ant-Man fan.
Well, here's the thing. Remember the Stanley cameo?
Yes.
That's the same soda.
Oh.
So that's a kind of funny little way they're kind of linked. I guess they unintentionally linked Ant-Man, but it was just one of those things. It's like those guys at Marvel just love playing puzzle maker, you know.
You got to dig deep to find that one. I'm sorry.
Pretty much.
Woo!
That one I thought was pretty interesting. I'm still looking forward to seeing that movie, even though of all the director dropping out and all the hassle it went through. I'm still looking forward to seeing that.
You know what? I'm not excited about that, but I will give it a shot because I'm going to tell you, Guardians of the Galaxy, when I first heard about it, I was just kind of like, really? That's going to be their big movie? That's going to be something they're going to do? And then, oh my God, so good.
It beat Transformers in the market.
Dude, in our game, I think it's going to take the #1 highest grossing movie in our game.
Probably, definitely. And Entertainment Weekly, Ridley Scott has just said that his Martian film and the Blade Runner and Prometheus sequels have all been written. So now it's a matter of getting casting and filming done.
When you're talking about The Martian, you're talking about that book that like just came out about the guy who gets stranded on Mars.
I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not familiar with this one because I'm more looking forward to Blade Runner 2. But it's the project that's starring Matt Damon, and it is slated to come out in November next year. I think this is the one. Andy Weir's novel. I think that is the one about the isolation.
Pete, I got that book off of Audible. I figured we could listen to that on the way down and up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That way you get to know about how Ridley Scott's gonna do it.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm a tiny bit concerned with the Blade Runner sequel. And I'll tell you why. So Prometheus, I wasn't exactly happy with. I don't think it was as horrible as a lot of people dig on it. I mean, it was okay. I enjoyed the movie, but Blade Runner is sort of.
It's a staple in sci-fi.
I love that movie.
Blade Runner is the staple in sci-fi films as Dune is the staple in sci-fi books.
Right.
Sorry, David Lynch. I don't like your Dune movie.
I love Blade Runner the movie. Please don't fuck it up.
Listen, Pete. I think I can articulate this for you. You would rather them not do it and not fuck it up than you'd rather them do it and fuck it up.
Exactly. It's like if you can't do it justice, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
I would rather you get all the way to the end and go, nah.
Nah, we decided.
For me, this is one of those things where, like, I'm gonna wait till I see a trailer, and then I'll make a better call on this. Because here's the thing: Prometheus was one of those movies where I decided, I'm gonna wait till the trailer, and I watched it, and I was fairly entertained. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I mean, if I were to give it a rating, I'd give it a C+, B-, because it ate up my time fairly well. And the fact that they're doing sequels, because, the big problem with Prometheus was everyone expected this to be the answer to the xenomorph threat. Where did it all begin? And instead, it raised a ton more questions.
But they totally fucked up on the science research on that. That's where it got a lot of heck. In the science fiction community.
Definitely. I mean, but again, a lot of us, I don't know, with Ridley Scott, we really just have to see where this goes. I mean, the concept of the book sounded great, and, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, because it's like Robin Crusoe on Mars. So that's a nice concept. And, of course, Blade Runner, I know. It's the same way how I feel with Mad Max. Please don't suck.
Yeah.
Please don't suck.
Oh God, dude, that doesn't look like it doesn't even look like it could. That looks. I'm gonna if it sucks, I'm just gonna cry. I'm gonna go home and cry. I'm gonna
and it's sad because it's the creator remaking this thing, because it's not a sequel, it's a remake.
Right.
He decided to reimagine his vision. I guess because with how technology is, he can make his vision more clear and more.
But then again, you don't want him to just do a clone. You don't want him to redo the script. You do want him to, take some modern twists and turns too. So.
Definitely, and that's one of those things I'm looking forward to. So the next article: Amazon beat Google to the punch in acquiring Twitch.tv for almost $1 billion, $970 million.
Oh, man.
What?
Amazon now owns Twitch, and this could be either a good thing or a bad thing. Because here's the thing: I said "thing" like 3 times in that sentence.
Thing.
Thing. I'm gonna say this right now. This isn't me just wildly shooting in the air, despite me being from Texas.
All half cocked.
Hide your kids. Hide your kids.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
Right.
When Google acquired YouTube, you saw the changes that happened. For better or worse, they're here to stay. And, YouTube wasn't affected as much, but it did raise some controversy. Amazon hasn't really had that much of a background with other services they've acquired. Because, Amazon has their own streaming service. They have their own private programming. This could be interesting because according to the business group from Twitch, not a lot is going to change. There will be some changes, but not as
well.
Crazy.
Did you hear about all the news that happened with Twitch in the past week, the last week and a half, where they were basically, and it was under the guise of, sounded like Google was telling them or YouTube was saying, you need to start working on some of your systems for finding
content ID and stuff like that. That has been an issue, but maybe with Amazon partnering with this can get resolved in a more efficient way. I mean, because Amazon does also have the market for selling music and stuff like that, because that's what makes them different from Google. Google has the Google Play Store.
Yeah, Google sells music. The Google Play Store is all right.
Yeah, but that's a little bit different from YouTube, though. You know, Google branching out to YouTube. But like I said, this could be great. This could be bad. We don't know. The deal was literally just made earlier today, this afternoon. So
That's just blowing my mind though, because I'm like 1 day behind on the tech news, and I'm sure if I catch it up tomorrow morning, I'll catch up on yesterday's and it'll be out. But wow.
yeah, but you know, I still can't believe Amazon actually beat Google to acquiring another company.
Yeah.
You know, especially, you know, I mean, like I said, Amazon has their own kind of stuff. I mean, because Google monopolizes a lot of the of the tech industry. I mean, of course, now that they own YouTube, I mean,
Google might go. They might have also decided, you know what, screw it. We'll just go head to head. Maybe we'll just do our own.
oh boy.
You know, I don't know, but I'll tell you that Bezos, he's slippery.
Yeah.
He's slippery.
So I got one last piece of news. So students in North Carolina State University actually developed nail polish that can detect date rape drugs.
I saw this. This is awesome. This is so cool.
I actually thought
Wait,
this
it's so.
It's like, no! I'll never get laid now. No, this is awesome. This is really cool.
What about heavy cough syrup?
it's really interesting because, you know, oh god.
So NyQuil ain't gonna work no more?
Not anymore. Yeah, my fingers painted with NyQuil. What are you talking about? All right, come on, hurry up, Brian.
All right, so
Hey,
okay,
little
so
girl,
pretty much
would you like some NyQuil popsicles?
Talk about the harbinger of doom. What is this bad news you have, Brian?
Sleep. Well, no, it's not bad news. It's interesting because the way they designed it is essentially women can just discreetly stir their finger in the drink and then it'll change the color. The presence will change color. You know, like GHB, and I can never pronounce this. It's rohypnol.
Rohypnol.
Roofies.
Rohypnol.
Yes.
So rohypnol and GHBs, those would change color in the presence of the nail polish. So that's actually really interesting. So
What
it's
if it
not.
was suspended in a syrup? What do you think that would? Never mind.
Rohypnol.
Right.
I like to mix that with Viagra and go over Mike's house.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wow, that's some good.
Sorry.
That's pretty good.
No, that is really cool. That is absolutely
yeah.
fucking awesome.
What the soccer mom needs is the finger polish that can detect weed. You know what I mean?
Right, no shit.
Yeah. So that's pretty much
Blow
all I
my
got.
finger.
Ah!
Oh, what? So, hey, wait a minute. I got one for you. I found one that I want to share. This is really kind of gross, but I want to share it anyway.
All right.
All right.
I want some fingernail polish that can detect furries. It'll just light up.
All right, so hold on. Let me go.
You don't need nail polish for that. You got these, dude.
We go back to the share
Or if
screen.
the room's dark, you got your hands. If you feel something fluffy.
No, you don't.
Okay, so do you see what I see?
See? Oh my god.
So this is pretty crazy.
I try really hard to avoid this subject in conversation, but
It's just this is
Why
just
are you looking
crazy.
at this exactly?
It's Egyptian feminist poops and menstruates on an Islamic State flag. So they're protesting. They're in Egypt and they're protesting the Islam I guess I don't know Muslim whatever. They're pooping on and menstruating on an Islamic flag because of feminist issues with the strict Muslim, with I guess ISIS, basically Islamic laws. I just thought that was kind of extreme. I mean, I guess that's what it takes for some people. I was amazed at the okay, I'm gonna stop sharing this because it's gross.
The
But
link you will go to for a poop bit. I swear to God.
No. I'm just saying that was just
For
like
a bit of poop.
all right, never mind.
You know what? I kind of want to wrap up the show with just a little nod and tip of the hat to great people we've lost
Oh,
these
right.
past couple of weeks. I mean, I wasn't available for the last week's show because I was sick with con crud, but as a lot of people know, one of the greatest talents we've had in the history of cinema, Robin Williams, took his own life at the age of 65 or 63. There was a lot of speculation on why he did it. It's always been well known that he's been struggling with depression and abuse, and some new details came out that he was recently diagnosed with early signs of Parkinson's disease.
Oh, wow.
And I guess a lot of people are just guessing. I mean, this including myself. I guess the mere thought of just not being physically able to bring joy and entertainment to people was just too much.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. I mean, people like Robin Williams, they love making people happy. I mean, whenever it comes to comedians and people who just seem very hilarious and cheerful and outgoing, there's always that underlining of sadness.
That's part of what feeds, the
Because
positive.
some people theorize that people who make other people happy, they do this because they don't know how to make themselves happy.
I would like to point out the skepticism that is out about Rob Schneider's whole just bizarre read into the whole thing, and I'm not going to promote it, but if you happen to have already heard about it, be very skeptical about it. And that's all I want to say.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider?
Yes. The
Does
gigolo.
Does anybody care what he says?
Well, you know what? You never know.
Oh, you never know.
You never know what people think about the male gigolo.
And then in other news, Lauren Bacall recently passed away as well. Lauren Bacall, great actress. A lot of people remember her with her relation with Humphrey Bogart back in the early days of her career. And one of her last projects was actually voicing over a French animation film called Ernest and Celestine. It's a very wonderful film. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It has a great wholesome message. The whole thing is the animation style is watercolor.
Okay, cool.
And it's based off of a French children's book, and it's really nice. I definitely recommend it. And last but not least, recently, not too long ago, Richard Attenborough passed away at the age of 90. John Hammond, the creator of Jurassic Park, is no longer with us.
No.
And I recently, if you guys, let me see if I can find the director of Jurassic World, Colin Trevorrow. He recently he shared a picture. It's a very wonderful tribute, and a lot of people are kind of curious if maybe Richard did a small cameo before he passed away for Jurassic World, because the premise of Jurassic World, basically John Hammond's dream has come to fruition. The park is now open, it's successful, it's seeing guests, so now people are now kind of wondering, what, is he gonna make a cameo? And I found this wonderful, wonderful picture that was from the set of the upcoming film coming out next summer, and they made a statue of Richard Attenborough as John Hammond, and it's in the lobby of the park, and it says Hammond up on the top. So it's a very wonderful piece.
Okay, I've seen that. Yeah, I saw that.
Richard Attenborough was not only known for Jurassic Park, but The Great Escape as well. Another great picture, Miracle on 42nd Street. I mean, those were just great movies, and it's always hard whenever people who bring us such joy and entertainment in our lives go on. But it's always best to kind of remember their legacy and to move on from that as well. I mean, I know a lot of people are still clinging on to Robin because I've been talking to a lot of people, and when it comes to these kind of issues, like when Philip Seymour Hoffman died or when Heath Ledger died or any of these celebrities died of natural or unnatural causes, for some reason, Robin Williams hit the most with a lot of people, and I believe it's because Robin Williams' first gig, as I recall, was the Mork and Mindy Show when he played Mork. And he Nanu, and he was talking when they did Scott Mosier's film Good Will Hunting. He was talking with Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier. He's like, wow, people love you, and well, what do you think it's because of that? Well, it's because of television. With film, you have to be invited. When it comes to television, you're there in their house as a guest. You're always there.
Just like us.
Just
Exactly like us.
Like a virus on their computer.
like a
Just
virus on their computer, and Norton can't get rid of us.
the MythWits, like a virus.
Like a turtle poking virus.
Oh. All right.
Oh man,
Well,
you
I
missed
think
our
that's
fur
the point.
discussion last week. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So I think it's
It's time. We're gonna call it.
Yep.
time of death.
Time of death is what 11:47 p.m. on the East Coast.
That's
That's 10:47 p.m. Where Brian is. The weather's fine. The temperature is great. So to all you travelers out there, make sure you keep your eyes open on the road, and if you get tired, get out and walk around a little bit.
And remember, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the
Before they
stars.
start, no, keep your feet on the ground. You know he's gotta have that voice. Keep your feet on the ground and keep what?
That was my Casey Kasem. I'm Casey Kasem. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, Shaggy.
Stop stepping on my toes, bitch.
All right, so that is it for tonight. I will see you, good sirs, another time. Mike and I are going to Dragon Con. We will try to put videos up from our phony type devices.
Yeah. Hey,
we'll see.
and if you have ever seen any of our shows and you happen to be watching this one and you see us at Dragon Con, please come up to us, please. Please.
Please.
Do anything.
Please. Suck yo. No, I'm sorry.
Please buy a crap.
We'd love your autograph. We would love your autograph to know that you watched the show.
Okay.
I just need money for crack, mister.
What was that movie? Menace to Society?
Don't be a menace.
No. Menace to. I was thinking of the real one.
Oh yeah.
Where the guy comes up with the cheeseburgers and he's like, "Come on, man, give me some. I'll suck your dick."
See what happens when you go past the time of death? It's 11:49 now.
All right. Time of death. Calling it. Good night. Shut up. I'm gonna run the closer.
Like
Bye.
What? Like a cobra that came back to life.
And bit that Chinese man's hand.
Don't
Bye.
touch my cobra. All right. So long. Bye.
You've just enjoyed the MythWits. Join us for a live broadcast next week and every week, Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you miss our live show, you can always catch the encore episodes and the podcast version at our website and on iTunes. Make sure to check out our website at mythwits.com, and of course visit us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and iTunes. MythWits is a Studio187.com production and is protected under an attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives, Creative Commons work. You can download and share it with whoever you like. Just don't change it and don't try to make money with it. Make sure to check out Studio187.com for more cool stuff. See you next week.